Say hey, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Joining me today, as he does every Friday, is my guy, Connor Mack. Connor, how you doing?
Jose, what is going on, my guys? Friday. We need a good day. Last week was good. We were on the weekend, so let's continue it. Well, let's roll. We got games to get to.
Yes, we do. A lot of games, a full slate here. Been an interesting couple of days. Plummeted
Yeah.
2 days ago, came back. Good day yesterday. Definitely can't complain about it. Was so close. I had my I would say my most heartbreaking loss of the year this yesterday, coming with the Royals' first five money line, fading the minus 300 Astros.
Hmm.
The back-to-back home runs really hurt my feelings there. So we were close. We ended up going a 5-4, but we were up units at the end of it, and it was a good time. So, yeah, good time overall. And we can get right into this card here. Shockingly, I will say this, Connor. It feels like every show with you, I have a lot of volume on the show. Don't have a lot of plays today. I do not have a lot of plays today, and I do not like this card. Only one, and that being the
Well,
Red Sox team total, because I gave that out earlier today. I'm betting with the bag, so I'm on that four. The total is bumped up a little bit, but overall excited about this card. So it's gonna be a good
get
day.
it.
All right, so
Get it.
let's
Get
get
it.
right into it. Say Hey plays 93. Say Hey at 93 officially underway. The record stands right now 265 and 255, up 12.34 units. So let's keep it going. We're trying to climb back up to 20. It's been my challenge for the second half of this first half of the year. After that, a hot start, have not going to be able to get to 20 units again, but we're climbing. We're trying to get there. We're just happy and thankful that we're above water right now. Speaking above water, let's talk about Tampa Bay Rays here, because they're flying high. I wouldn't say super high, but they beat the Red Sox in a series. They've got Shane McClanahan, the ace, going today. I would not be surprised at all if he started the All Star game um, versus Luis Castillo, who number of starts on the Cincinnati Reds might be dwindling. We've been saying that for a couple of years now, but who knows ultimately what the Reds are going to do. Minus 185, plus 153 here is interesting, just because Castillo is a capable pitcher, and on his day he can go out there and shove. But let's pull up the Reds against lefties. I will use, of course, my splits from the 19th and on, and let's find out how the Cincinnati Reds are hitting lefties, because I personally remember them hitting them pretty well, and they do. 10th, 110 or 114, excuse me, weighted runs created plus for the Cincinnati Reds here. So I guess maybe an over, but Shane McClanahan has been so good. Only one earned run in his last four appearances. Just not something I want to get behind or get in front of, excuse me, and try to fade. So ultimately, a pass here for me, Connor, to start it off.
Yeah, this game's interesting here. McClanahan, how can you not want to look at this and not take him? I mean, just been dominant. 174. And lately, his last few starts, he ain't messing around. 6, 7 Ks. He's 10. This guy's 10K his last couple. I've been surprised. Well, we all know how Castillo. I'm surprised he's kind of kept it together. It seemed like in the past he'd have these massive blow up games where he'd give up 7 runs and they just be yanked. He's been pretty good since he's been in this year. Got a little late start. And his first few starts he gave up 3. He had that one start with the Dodgers 4, but his last couple were good, especially at home against Atlanta. With him on the mound, I'm leery of this. The Rays, I'm not scared of the lineup. I know they've played a little bit better, beat the Red Sox, beat the Jays the last couple in that series, the last time McClanahan started. I think this is the Rays. Now their run line's minus 110. I don't want it. I'm going to take the full game under here, 7.5. I got to with McClanahan. I don't think he gives them more than one. If the Rays score 8 on me, it gets over 8 or 9. It is what it is. Because the first 5 at 3.5. I'll go full game here because I think McClanahan can go deep, and I think Castillo could go 6, 6 or 7. So I just pray with that Reds bullpen for a couple innings.
Yeah, it is. It really, truly is praying with that Reds bullpen. Rays in the last 3 weeks almost now. It is sixth against righties, 119 plus weighted runs created plus. Like you mentioned, they've gotten hot recently. They took I think the last three from the Jays, and that kind of sent them in down this kind of tailspin that the Rays are currently going through. So it's an interesting game for sure, but I will pass for certain here. Next game on our slate, let's talk about the LA Angels and the Baltimore Orioles here. And I'll tell you, Connor, a lot of love for the Orioles today. Went from minus 130, minus 140. But I looked at Reed Detmer's numbers, and I was shocked to see his last start in the minor leagues, though. Of course, his last start in the minor league, he's getting called up for this start again. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 14 Ks. 14 Ks for Reed Detmers.
That ain't happening in the big leagues.
that,
He don't throw out hard. Yeah,
that
I'm just
was
saying.
I was just shocked to see that. I was like, holy shit. 14 Ks for Reed Detmers? All right, sure. Maybe if it was any other starter on the Orioles, I'd take a little piece of Reed Detmers here, maybe feeling good after that start. But I do like the Orioles a whole lot, and I've liked Tyler Wells the whole year. One thing I've been actually right about was saying that Tyler Wells is going to be their John Means this year, their kind of starter that comes out of the woodwork and figures it out and pitches well for them all year. His last few starts have been really good. Minnesota Twins last time out, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 1 walk. Dominance the Orioles against lefties, in the last 2-3 weeks. 114 weighted runs created plus. That's 12. They're right behind the St. Louis Cardinals the last 3 weeks, who we all think hits lefties really well. Or I guess that is an opinion is divisive now for what they've been doing. But the point is that the Orioles can hit. They've been one of the better teams in the last month or so. So the line movement makes a whole lot of sense to me at the end of the day, because I would much rather have the Orioles. Maybe I think with an 8.5, you could probably get a good team total with the Orioles here. But for right now, I'm not moving on this game. What about you, Connor?
Yeah, I wanted to look up real quick the Orioles. I would even, yeah, it's only right around a plus 100. I was going to take them first 5 with a half run. This I'm probably going to keep as a lean. I didn't bet the Orioles yesterday, but I've won the last 3 or 4 with them. I don't trust Detmers. The numbers aren't really there, but I think the Orioles are starting to swing, the bat better against lefties. It's still only 233 when I was looking at their average. Still haven't hit a ton of power. But that's when I like to back them last year. The money's come on them, obviously. It's minus 140. You're not catching much of a break with Tyler Wells. And when these two teams right now get together, I lean over. I know Detmers just pitched 6 innings at Tacoma, but this ain't Tacoma. I know it's still the Orioles. But I'd lean over in this game as well. I could only look over with these two.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I looked at Wells' starts, and one of my first starts, though I said I like him and I think he's been really good this year, is that he's pitched well for a while now, and it's kind of feels like at some point he's going to have a bad start or a little bit of a regression start. So we'll see when that is. But
he's
yeah,
been solid though.
yeah,
He's been 5 innings, just get in, maybe a couple runs. So
sinkers,
yeah,
sinkers. My favorite adjective when I'm looking for a pitcher. I want a pitcher that throws a heavy ball. If you hear an announcer say that about a pitcher, that's like my ding ding ding. I want to bet on that guy, and it's usually with a
ground balls. Yep.
Yeah, it's I love that shit. I don't know why, but what I remember when I was hitting in my my youth, I was always hear that, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm never gonna get hit off this dude. That guy throws the heaviest ball out there. I'm hitting weighted balls, dude.
Yep, heavy sinkers. Throws a heavy ball. Yep.
So shout out to Tyler Wells. No action for me here. Connor leaning towards the over. I looked at that team total by Baltimore, by the way. 4.5 was the only thing that was really playable. If you want to eat the juice on a 4, but I didn't want to do either one. So passing for me. Next game is my close personal friend Pablo Lopez versus Chris Bassett here. And
you got the picture still?
Do I still have the picture? I think
pull it up. Pull it up.
I've got it somewhere around here. Let me pull it up again while I talk about my good friend Pablo Lopez. Still no response from Pablo Lopez, unfortunately. He's busy. His notifications are turned off, I guess. It's whatever. Maybe he got a new Instagram. I don't know. Maybe he's not running it. But there's your update on if Pablo responds. If not, it's truly sad. It hurts my feelings every day. We were so close last year, and Connor, I'll keep saying it. He pitched a lot better last year when we were close personal friends. We pitched a lot better last year. I would if it's earlier in the season too, you're not seeing him at a plus 140. He's been a little inconsistent recently. It all started after that wrist injury thing he had, and then they pushed the start back. And since then, it just has not been the same. So at the Nationals, his last appearance, 6 1/3, 3 hits, but 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. Honestly, it was at the Nationals, but you still kind of expect him to dominate that start. And then he got crushed by St. Louis before that at St. Louis again. 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk. His third consecutive road appearance here doesn't make me feel great either, but he's still a capable pitcher facing a Mets team who has seen him a bunch, and Bassett, who I think can get blown up sometimes. His last appearance was against these Marlins. Excuse me.
Yeah, 2 straight. This will be a 3rd in a row. Here.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I am just realizing. Yeah. He gave up 3 earned runs in both appearances, 5 and 6 hits, 9 Ks this first time, 5 Ks his last time. It is pretty surprising to see. Are the Marlins really not going to be able to hit this dude? 3rd straight time?
I don't know. They got all right numbers. It wasn't huge. Let me double. I had it pulled up earlier. There you go.
But I'm sure you could get a very low team total as well with the Marlins, especially the numbers of 7. I mean, they're giving us like a 2.5. What are we doing here?
I agree with you. These pitchers are not pitching like they were earlier on in the year. Jose Bassett, got the COVID. I guess he's looked okay. He's gone 6 and gave up 3. Quality start, you can kind of put it. And 3rd straight here with the Marlins. Mets just blew him out yesterday. It was quickly 10-0 in the 4th inning. The problem is with Lopez here. I want to back the Marlins a little bit. I mean, there's a ton of games. I'm probably not, but I think the plus money with them would be the look here. Maybe first 5, try to get this in because I don't want their bullpen. I think the Mets have a little bit better bullpen. So I look at the Marlins here to maybe get it done. And how well will these guys pitch? Lopez, you talked about that injury. I don't think he's right. 3rd straight start on the road. He just went against these Mets too, right? Before that DC game, you said, right?
Let me pull it up. It was Nationals Cardinals, but I'll pull up his game log right now. It's a 3 at minus 110, Connor, and I'm moving on that. A 3 minus 110. First of all, like I said, Bassett has given up 3 in his first 2 appearances against him.
There we go. June 17th. He gave up 6. 8 hits, 7, 6 earned. So
I don't want to back Pablo here, truthfully. Like, that's why I'm taking team total and not like a first 5 thing. I've been leaning towards doing that more often. It's not like a conscious decision of just taking them, but I just think that's a crazy number. Is it a weather thing? And I know I've heard Dami Gum say the wind doesn't even matter there because it swirls here.
It's a real New York guy right there. He's giving you.
Yeah, exactly. Boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Reporting.
No, I mean it's even kind of blowing out. It's a little left to start of the game, and kind of blows out 6 or 7. Looks like right in the game to left center.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they would put a 3 up for the full game when, again, Bassett has given up 3 in his first 2 appearances. We're getting another look at him here. Miami against righties in the last 2.5 weeks are 24th, 89 weighted runs created plus. So I guess, but I also don't hate a first 5 team total of over 1.5 at even money.
Yeah.
Officially, I'm moving on to 3. Minus 110 for me.
I like it. I'm going to stay off here. I think it gets over. Just too much stuff in this game. Could these guys pitch well? But they're not. Um, I'm off here.
Yes, I am I moved on it officially. And, Cheshire Cat telling me to read something in a Twitter group. I cannot find it, Cheshire Cat. So if you want to DM me directly, I'd appreciate it. But let's move on to this next game here, Yankees Red Sox. I'm on the Red
Here
Sox
we go.
total. Over 4. Got it earlier today. I'm betting with the bag. I think Nestor's not faced the Red Sox this year, which does concern me because the Red Sox do have good numbers on them, but it's not Nestor from this year. I think Nestor from this year is just a different pitcher, obviously. And I got it at minus 115, that team total, by the way. It's not minus 120 for a 4, so heads up there. But I that would be my concern here. The Nestor facing them for the first time this year. He's a different pitcher, though they have the good numbers on it. Blah blah blah. This total has jumped up from a 9.5 to a 10 now, and I can see why. Yesterday I thought that 8.5 was pretty ridiculous. I think all Red Sox Yankees games, at least in my memory, all of them are at least 8.5, or sorry, at least 9.5 to 10. So
Yeah.
if I ever see a 9.5, or I should say a 9, I'll think about it. But 8.5 is something I'd move on every time, probably for the over. But yeah, Red Sox team total over 4 for me. But Connor, as everyone knows, I'm a biased piece of shit. So I would love to hear if you moved on this game because you are a much more level-headed human being than I am.
Well, hey, I wouldn't mind it a little bit here again, but I had your Red Sox first 5 yesterday, and fuck, grand slam. Devers 2 bombs. You score 5 runs in the first 5 innings. You think you get a win out of that, and
Yeah.
Devers 2 for 6. He's got a couple homers here. Look at him again. I heard someone write that in the chat. Shout out to the chat. I'll hit you guys up here in a minute. I'm off. The Yankees shouldn't be this number, though. Again, I know Cortez has been better. What's Connor Siebel going to do here, though? He's looked good. He hasn't looked good. Tell me you love these Red Sox. Everything I see he's been all right in the minors, but I don't want them. I know the Red Sox are 265 off lefties. They've done well. So maybe just stick with your team total. I think there could be runs here again. Now this is at 10 though.
Yeah.
Hey, I still think it can get there. If you got the 9.5, you feel a lot better. But yeah, I got to stay off. They busted me, even though I should be right back on them. Maybe.
I feel you with the 9.5. I think I would have taken the 9.5 over there. 10 is a little more scary. You never know what you're gonna get there. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a fun game for sure. Truthfully, Connor, if we're in the trust tree, if we're in the trust tree for a second, and I'll tell you some open heart confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't hate if the Yankees won this series, because that just gives me better karma and better vibes that the Red Sox will win the series in Fenway when I'm there. Because if they lose those games in Fenway while I'm there, I'm going to be really, really hurt, and it's going to hurt my feelings a lot. And I'm going to hold grudges. So that'll be very interesting. And plus, obviously, these are minor league pitchers that they're winning against. So
yeah, that's true, and that's why I'm off. And the tickets here, they talk about a public over 80%, but I see most of big money 58% on the under. So
yeah, that's honestly, it makes me a little more concerned. It just feels like,
hey, I'm just throwing it out there. I know it's not the end all be all. I was just a couple of these I have highlighted a little bit.
No, I feel you there, but and it truly, all those monies and everything, it kind of makes me feel like this game is going to find a way to stay under. Like it might be it might be a case of, those numbers against Nestor were really good, but those are not that's not the same guy.
Same guy, yeah. 6-2 game, something like that. Yeah.
We'll see. It's going to be an interesting game to say the least. I'm obviously not betting against the Red Sox here, but I am on the team total over 4. So that'll be a fun watch. Nationals Braves up here. And Connor, I'll be honest, I wish this was a minus 300 so I could take the Nationals. And I want to take the Nationals. I just should take the Nationals. I have been one of the only people on Fetty Island this whole year, it seems like. I've been saying that Fetty has looked better. He's been better. And then he'll have a start every once in a while. I forgot who it was against. It might have been against the Dodgers, where he gives up like 7 earned runs, and then
You're
everyone
like, is he back? Come on, that's the Fetty I know. That's what I like to say. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's one of those things. I trust in Fetty, truthfully, but it's just so scary with this Braves lineup. This Braves lineup is so good, and
they've ripped him. They just ripped his
exactly.
ass. Yeah.
And it's kind of like the cocoon that Charlie Morton just stays there and hides beneath, like I want to fade Charlie Morton. I really do. But it seems like you have to fade him with like good opposition, I guess. At Cincinnati last time out, the Reds, not a good ball club, we know. He dominates them 7 innings of 1 hit ball, 10 Ks, 1 walk. But he goes to the Philadelphia Phillies, a team who I think is a good hitting squad, obviously, even without Bryce Harper. 5 2/3, 7 hits, 2 run, 5 Ks, 4 walks. So it's ultimately a pass game for me here. I like Fetty, but I can't get behind him here. There's too much familiarity. The Braves have seen too much of shitty Fetty, and maybe they won't be able to discern the difference here between good Fetty and bad Fetty. And my last note, 5th are the Atlanta Braves against righty in the last 2 weeks. 121 weighted runs created plus. So pass.
Yeah, this game's a pass for me as well. As much I want to take the Nats here a little bit. I wish they were maybe all the way up to 300. I still think the value's decent here. Are you telling me Morton should be 260? I know he's pitched a bit better as of late, but the numbers are gaudy. Riley, Ozuna. I mean, they're like 9 for 18, 7 for 11, with homers off him. And I remember he pitched Atlanta. I forget how I bet that game going through these stats. I'd have to go back in my book. But he only gave up 3. I remember 5 1/3. He pitched pretty good. He gave up a couple there before he got pulled. Was Fetty last month, I believe. Here, where was it? June 15th. He went 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. His big deal is those walks. You see 3, 4. He walks. There's the 3-run homer with these Braves. He's in trouble. He's still not really a strikeout pitcher. For him to get 4, that's what he about gets every start. If you look, a couple 6s thrown in there. But that's why I can't take the Nats. I lean over. Braves at home, but I don't want the total here either. The Braves team total's 5.5. I don't want to touch 5.5. And if Fetty, I fade him, he gets me. I'll be drinking a lot alone. So I'm off.
So here's the thing, Connor. You could get I remember doing this the last time with you too, I think. The shitty team totals. I remember doing it and it didn't even work for me that day. I remember distinctly taking like the Reds, they got like shut out, and it took another team shut out.
I remember.
And here we are again. Nationals team total over 3.
Yeah, the 3.5, I can get plus 105. What's your 3?
My 3 is, I believe it's it's a minus 120. And I don't hate minus 120. I can operate with the minus 120. And it's like, ugh.
But I was going through the numbers. The Nats have been putrid lately, swinging it. Can they bust out of it? I looked at that a lot. That, either you can look at the 3 or the 3.5, because that kind of stood out to me at plus 105. I don't know if I could trust him. Can Bell get going? Soto, he's been a little bit quiet.
You have a plus 105 for the 3.5?
Yes.
Mine's a plus 115.
Nice. Wow. I mean, I have to look around. I only have this one book pulled right now.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean there. But I'll say this. Morton against the Nationals in his career is 4-6 with a 5.23 ERA. It's obviously a long career, and it's been through a lot of iterations of Nationals teams there. So we'll just say last year, because this will be his first start against the Nationals this year. Last year, he went 2-0 against them with a 2.65 ERA in 3 starts. And the year before, he went 0-1 in 1 start with a 5.40 ERA. So it's
But they're solid numbers, Jose. Like, I mean, they're still in 95 plate appearance. They're hitting 299 off him. Decent. A lot of these guys have decent numbers.
I'm gonna move on that officially now. Damn, I can't believe shitty team totals. Here we go again.
I'll actually like that. I mean, I don't know if I get there here, but I'm gonna write this down.
That is funny.
I could join you. I could join you on a shitty team total. I was can't believe I just said that. If I can get 115 or 20, that'd be really I might go.
Yeah, I obviously don't love the minus 120. And it's one of those things. I don't hate it. Like you said, the over. And I think my favorite part about betting these team totals is I'm rooting for two things, obviously. I'm rooting for runs for my team, or I'm rooting for the other team to fucking hammer the other team so we can get a position player at the end of the game. Hammer, please. That's why I fucking hate the Yankees, of course, Connor. I fucking hate those guys because they're up 16-0 and they fucking continue throwing their relievers. Fuck them for that. I hate them for that. And the Brewers, I appreciate, even though Mike Brasso gave him a 1-2-3 inning against the fucking Pirates the other day. By the way, I don't know if you knew this, Connor, but Mike Brasso has a higher pitching WAR than Aaron Ashby.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and he's got a higher. I think he's got a higher offensive WAR than like Andrew McCutchen or someone else on the Brewers, and then a higher defensive WAR than Christian Yelich. So again, another person buying for the American Shohei Ohtani label.
This is about the best lineup I've seen for the Nats they got today.
Is it Soto? Soto's in?
Yeah, Soto and Hernandez. Hold on, shit.
Then I've got I like
Hernandez, Soto, Bell, Cruz, Garcia, Ruiz, Hernandez, Franco, Thomas. So it's about as good as it gets for their lineup.
Well, we'll take it. I'll take it, and then we'll move on from this game. It's a very interesting game, but I definitely don't also hate the Nationals money line here at plus 210. That's just very interesting there, to say the least. Let's talk about the battle of the Grays here, and I thank the baseball gods for aligning this matchup purposely. I hope that the managers got together and were like, hey, you pitching Sonny first game? I'll pitch John. All right, just for the laughs, just for the boys here. Sonny and John, the Gray family going at it here. Versus Sonny starting this off for us. His Baltimore start last time out was shaky, but it's been truly a solid body of work for Sonny Gray this whole year. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. Honestly, I think from Sonny Gray, you would take that every time. You would really be happy with that every time. And his last time out against the Cleveland Guardians, at the Guardians, 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk there. Guys like him and Chris Archer are going to win the Minnesota Twins this division. And every time I say that, it makes me a little more angry that their pitching coach literally left in the middle of the season, go to LSU, could not finish the season. But whatever, because that guy apparently is the best pitching coach since fucking Raleigh Fingers. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see all that stuff, how they progress in Sonny Gray and wear and tear, and same with Chris Archer. John Gray is not someone that I have wanted to back in any circumstance this year. His last time against the Mets, though, it was a good squad. He got crushed 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 7 Ks, 2 home runs there. And then the Kansas City Royals, he dominated 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks. I'm going to pull up his game log again because am I sensing a little like a bottom feeder vibe from John Gray? Does he just dominate the shit teams? Is this what we're looking at here? Let's find out. Let's see here. Philadelphia, he only gave up 2 earned runs. Detroit, he dominated. The White Sox, who I am counting as a shitty team, he dominated. The Cleveland Guardians, he gave up 5 earned runs. Oakland, he gave up 5 earned runs. I just can't. I don't know. He's very erratic for me, and he's only made like 1, 2, 3. This is only his 4th start at home too. So all that stuff just combines to say this is another pass game to me. But I'm definitely leaning towards the Twins.
Yeah, I like the Twins here. The Twinkies battle of Grays. This total's low, but they've gone under. When these teams get together, they go under. All the money's on the under. I'm going to stay off the total. It's dropped from 8 to 7.5. I think the Twins are just better. I'm surprised Texas's record's this good
They've really
so
turned it
far
on.
this year.
Like
Yeah, they can swing it.
we thought for a while like that the $500 million infield was struggling, and by $500 million, I mean half of it, I guess I should say, in Simeon, and he figured it out. I don't know what he did, what smelling salts he took, but he figured it out. He's back in it, and their lineup's truthfully not really that bad. Like they've got
No,
both of those guys. Adolis Garcia is solid. Lowe, I think, is a capable guy. And Cole Calhoun, who truly probably should be traded to a contender.
probably.
He's been pretty good as well. Like, just a lot better than you would think about for Cole Calhoun. So, ultimately, I respect this Rangers squad, and I will be watching the Rangers playing the Yankees here in October, one of the last weeks of the season, and it would be a really, really big shame if that Rangers squad was beating them when I was there. So maybe I'm buttering it up for them, but a past game, I still would rather take the Twins here.
Yeah, I like the Twins too. In Texas, they played well here, 5 straight. Not only they won, they covered. I'm surprised Gray's pitched this well. I mean, I just kind of wrote him off a
Great.
little bit. Maybe that Sonny. What Gray? Not John. Not my guy John. Sonny Gray. And he's shit on me before in the past years, betting on him. We'll get to the end. I like the Twins here. I think in a cheap price. I get the Rangers at home. They haven't been good at home, dog. But you talk about Garver. Even those guys get timely jacks for the Rangers. Like they hit these 3-run homers. You're like, what the fuck? So, but I lean Twins here. Just a better team.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Let's move on from the 50 Shades of Grey Bowl here into the Cleveland Guardians, Kansas City Royals. And I'll be honest, Connor, I think this line's really weird. I don't know. I could look this up, but I don't know when the last time the Royals were favorites. Where it seems like every day they're the underdogs, and now they're going to be a minus 130 favorite to the Cleveland Guardians, a team that's in the playoff hunt. I understand Savali can get touched up, but still, man, I just think this line is a little aggressive here towards the Royals, towards the Royals. Cleveland against righties, they're 19th, 180 runs created plus, so pretty average, or I should say very average, since 100 is average, and I'm just shocked by this line. Truthfully, Connor, what do you have on this one?
I want nothing in this game. I want to be on the under. Solly's just been that bad. Singer's been a little bit better. I tell you the truth. I think the line. I mean, what did you think the line should be? Just 110? You think 130 is too much?
Yeah, probably minus 110 each way. I think the Guardians have been shit. I mean, we can fully admit that they've been shitty the last couple of weeks. They had like a stretch where they were baseball's darling. They were gonna figure this shit out, but I can understand like why, I guess. And Brady Singer's someone I've touted as a good pitcher. But it's just shocking to me. The minus 130 with the Royals just is surprising.
Yeah, it's come down. It's 115 in most spots, right around there. The Royals. This to me is Guardians or pass, and the problem is the pitchers. I could see the argument for the over here. I can't trust these offenses. No way. And then you got to trust these pitchers to get it done because I'd lean under. But this one's one I want nothing to do with. If I didn't play these teams for a while, that's fine. I'd be on the Guardians. Give me free bet. Get plus 108 with them.
All right, so Connor, just for my sake, the last time the Royals were favorite in the regular season is this year. Obviously, is against the Oakland A's.
Yeah,
which makes a whole lot of sense. Caprillion, and that was on June 26th. The Oakland A's, the Royals. Let's see here. The Orioles, the other team, and wow, that's the Royals and the Orioles. The Twins once, And that, that's shocking. They were underdog. They're technically favored against the Twins with Bailey Ober on the bump too. I like Bailey Ober a lot. Yeah, it's just shocking to see. I don't know. The line has dropped for me too. I just checked it again, -125. So yeah, Guardians are pass for me. Guardians are pass. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this next game here. A battle of two really disappointing pitchers, especially for me. Lucas Giolito, a guy I thought was going to win a Cy Young this year, truthfully, against Tariq Skubal here. 5-7 for Skubal, 4.06 ERA. So maybe the record a little deceiving, but he just has not been pitching well, and he doesn't get run support. He doesn't get run support at all. His last time was against the Royals, who we talked about just now. 4 2/3, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, strikeout, 3 walks, 2 home runs. It seems like this is kind of going to be his year where he gets rocked. He's gonna pitch through it. He'll earn his stripes here, learn a lot about like what's it like pitching in the majors, and he'll just kind of wear it here. This will be a bad year in his career maybe because Mize isn't there. Faedo's not ready. Like I guess he's there obviously, but he's not like there to be a good pitcher. And Lucas Giolito has kind of turned it around his last 2 starts. After I declared him dead in my bet for the Cy Young dead, he decided to turn it around. Angels 2 starts ago, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk. And then the Giants 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 2 walks. Another pass here for me, just because I don't trust the White Sox offense in any shape or form. They're the most disappointing team in baseball by far, and I don't want to bet them with any of my money or your money, Connor.
You know what? I do not either. I had yesterday Tigers first 5. I had the under in that game too, so that was needed that win and 1-0. I mean, this game is really difficult. A lot of people I get like the over. I mean, but guys like Anderson, he's 7 for 13, 5 doubles, a homer. He hasn't been good off Scuba. I mean, he is in a huge slump. These guys break out, Abreu. That's what you're basically banking on. And Scubal's just, where's this guy gone the last month or even longer than that? His last 6 starts. He's not the same guy. There was a lot of hype on him. I think he was just okay. I think his record speaks for himself. Giolito's been better as of late. Everything, to me, the weather screams under, and even these 2 teams. But the pitchers, the way that how inconsistent they are, you could look to the over. And this was the one guy who stood out to me. There's a couple others like Cuzzies. I always check the umpires. Fletcher, behind the dish, 13-1 to the under tonight in this game. Yeah, pretty big. I think that's the biggest I've seen. So that had me shade the under here as well. It got me in track. So I don't know if I bet this, but I'm on the ledge. Put it that way.
I like that look, Connor. I really do. Let me double check and see what I'm getting for the under. Especially after that game yesterday was just so abysmal. Like I could easily see that happening again. Yeah, I've got an under.
Can there? Yeah, I mean Tigers before that have been swinging it a little bit better, and they have all right numbers off Giolito. All these guys some of these guys have over 30 at bats, and jacks off him. Yeah, Duhas. Eric Haase, however you say it, Miguel Cabrera, scope a couple, scope. It makes you talk over, but I don't know. The only way I look is under.
Yeah, same. Underrated at even money for me. I also do not hate Miguel Cabrera props. Named to the All-Star game today.
Did he?
Yeah, him and Albert Pujols are the commissioner's picks for.
Oh, come on! They have commissioner picks. When did that start?
Well, the NBA started it with fucking Kobe.
Oh yeah,
fucking Dirk and all that shit. They started this shit. Don't look at the MLB saying we started handing them out. After the All-Star game became being played for no reason, and they took away home field advantage for the World Series, which was fucking crazy, by the way. That was crazy that was a thing and hilarious.
That was pretty crazy.
And it was really funny. I remember growing up when that was a thing, and I think it was a stretch where like the American League or one of the leagues at least won it like 10 straight years.
It was the American. I think they won more than that.
So
they won like 12 times. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those things. I find it to be hilarious. But yeah, Now that it doesn't mean shit, they should definitely do like all that stuff. Like I want the Savannah Bananas in the All-Star game too, as well. But yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if Miguel Cabrera has himself a little day if he's in the lineup. He's an old man, so.
Yeah, it's true.
And also, by the way, one last thing: Pujols and I should say Wainwright and Molina getting screwed as well. Getting screwed, guys. I see you, Wainwright, Molina. I see you guys. You guys are still greats in my book. All right, so let's talk about my Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Milwaukee Brewers here. Excuse me, oh burps, but we've got JT Brubaker and Aaron Ashby, and Ashby went against the Pirates recently. He gave up 4 earned runs off 2 home runs, but this is not a Pirates spot. I'm not on them here. I spoke a little bit about them on Betting with the Bag. They went to Pittsburgh. They fly from Pittsburgh to Cincinnati Reds to play a doubleheader. And then after those 18 innings where they split, of course, they go straight from there to Milwaukee to play this game. I think there's going to be some fatigue for sure. I don't hate like a team total under for the Pirates, but it's super low. That's really the issue. It made it so low that it's calling my name to bet it. Essentially, it really is. It's a 3 again. And I'm like, oh, do I really I want to bet it really badly, but I just think that travel is going to hurt a younger squad here. So I had to pass here, unfortunately.
I did too. I think the Pirates might be a little bit tired. We know, and the Brewers just own them. I mean, that's just a fact. And this looks like this could be an ugly game. But I remember we faded Ashby. That was the last start, right, against the Pirates. He probably pitches better back here at home. I like the under a little bit here. I don't love that. First 5's 4. Full game's 8. You can't even get the hook here. They played all those games over, Jose, in Pittsburgh. But going through these, usually these are under games. Usually, it's 3-1, 6-0. The Brewers take care of them. And I think they could be a little slow to go as well. The Pirates, it's a young team. So who knows? Brubaker's been all right. The long balls hurt him with some of these guys with the Brewers. Difficult because I don't trust Ashby. I just don't. And that injury, I think they're still wrong. That's why we faded him his last start.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, my God, I want to take it so bad, Connor. I really do. It's just
last night I said the team total. I was, as I thought the travel a little bit, but still, it's tough. I lean that they could get some runs, but I see this game being 3-2 or some bullshit. There's something about this spot I just don't love.
And the thing is, and the thing that's fucked too, is Joe Yurkovich saying the travel spots, finding them not to mean much. That first 5 team total as well was just really calling my name. It's at 1.5. He's getting it at plus 120. And I think I've got it at even money, but 1.5 and the 3 are just so appealing. And I really want to bet it. I have not moved on it yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if I moved on the 1.5. We'll see. I've got a plus 120. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we'll see, but it's just tough for me.
Yeah. And in that game, Cruz and Chavis went deep, right? But before that, they're still hitting 188 off him. Only 32 at bats. But I think if something's wrong, I kind of like that team total. It's just, what the Pirates though, Jose, over your Pirates. It seems like those runs come easy with Jacks, or man, it just is a long night.
Oh yeah,
they get
nothing. It is truly home runs or nothing with this squad. It's pretty.
Vogelbach, Reynolds, all these guys, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny too. In the last couple of weeks, it's not like it's a team effort for the home runs. It's kind of every so often. It's like, oh, Brian Reynolds 3 home run game. Michael Perez 3 home run game. It'll be stuff like that will come up and win the game for the Pirates. Cruz obviously can hit a home run or 2. So I'm going to write down that team total for the first 5 over 1.5 at plus 120. It's extremely interesting to me. And we'll find out how much travel spots really mean right here. A young squad here. They're shitty. They've seen this pitcher before. We'll just see it here. It's a real true test. So it's going to be a good game to watch. I've got a reason to watch the Pirates again. Come on.
It doesn't take much to make me watch them, Jose.
No, it truly doesn't, Connor. It truly does not. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals here. Zach Wheeler versus Adam Wainwright here, and the money has gone towards the Cardinals here. And I'm not shocked by that. I think the story is told by the home road splits of why you got money going towards the Cardinals here. Plus 162 towards I was reading plus 162. That's actually his home ERA, 162. Zach Wheeler rode a 4.45. So that just makes a whole lot of sense of why you'd want to back the Cardinals here at Busch Stadium with Adam Wainwright, who is basically the Lord of Busch Stadium. I actually need to double check.
The Lord? What does that come with?
The Lord. It comes with property titles. He owns a little bit of land.
He's got property taxes then.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, they come for those property taxes. It's actually 60 feet 6 inches from home plate. He's got that little bump of land there. It's actually his as well. But I will say this: I cannot back him without Yadier Molina. I don't know if you saw the quotes. I didn't even see the quotes until they were brought up on Betting with the Bag. He said, and I quote, "I miss my buddy back there," and I thought that was hilarious. And I was like, it's true. He's had Yadier Molina as his catcher for fucking ever, and when you've got these young rookies back there, catching is not the same. On top of that, why the fuck do you think Adam Wainwright's retiring with Yadier Molina? Wainwright could probably pitch another 2 years if he really wanted to. He's looked fantastic. But it's just, Yachty is going. So he's like, no, fuck this. I got to go with my guy. So I would lean Wainwright here and then probably take the Cardinals. I'd rather take the team total, though. So, Connor, can you give me a second? I'm going to come back real quick because Molly the dog wants to go outside real quick. So I'm going to go let her outside. I'm going to let you cook on this game real quick.
Sounds good. Let's rock it here. Wainwright, our guy. I broke this off with Sharpie. We were on Sunday Night Baseball. We had the under. We had a Hoskins, Homer, Real Muto. Wainwright was pretty good early on. He got smacked later on in the game. They took him out in the 6th or 7th inning. And hanging curveballs got him. And you know that if that's working for him and if that's nasty tonight, I think he's on. I like the Cardinals a little bit, just this spot. Philly's playing a little bit better. Wheeler, the younger, a little bit better pitcher. Obviously, not maybe a whole career, but right now, I lean under. I like the Cardinals. I just don't know if I want to go first 5. Their bullpen has made me sweat out some games. I've lost a couple as well. The numbers still, they had good numbers against Wainwright. They got even better. Real Muto went deep, 9 for 19. Hoskins is 6 for 10 with 3 jacks. That's what we hit. We had the over 1.5 bases on Sunday. So that's difficult, but I'd look under here again, under, and I'd lean Cardinals. Strong.
Yeah, so I think that is precisely why I'm off this game. I would rather have the over. We're on the same side with the Cardinals. Let me double check and see what a Cardinals team total is, because if it's another 3, I'm going to be sitting here again looking at it mighty hard and having a third team total over 3 here.
They've been different at home. They have not been swinging it that well. They had that good win yesterday, 3-2, but not a lot of hitting there in Atlanta. And one thing, Goldschmidt, totally different guy at home. His road numbers are not I don't want to say horrible, but he's got like 3 homers to 16 at home, or whatever the hell it is. And there's a few other guys with some numbers like that. So maybe a little home Busch, his lordship will win this.
Yeah,
with being at his home.
Thank you. I appreciate. I'm glad that we finally gotten around to the titles that we should properly bestow on people that earn them. He's Lord Adam Wainwright of House Cardinal, and that's what he has earned at this point.
What's his buddy, Molina? They got your catcher's your guy. Well, that's his.
He's also a lord. He's also a lord. But the king of the castle, or the king of Busch Stadium in St. Louis, is obviously Albert. He's come back and he's reclaimed his throne after a hiatus, and King Albert is now saying hello to everybody. He's like the Queen from England. He's so old now. They just prod him out there just to say hello, wave,
Yeah,
do
he's
the
like the
whole
Pope. They just put him
yes.
in that car and drive
Mhm.
around with the plastic around. I mean,
Exactly. And Adam Wainwright and Yachty are driving the little bubble car.
all right, let's
I'm
leave it
glad,
at that, I guess.
I'm glad that we're glad we've gotten all this. And by the way, Goldschmidt and for Cheshire Cat, Goldschmidt and Arenado, they're just the princes right now. Unfortunately, they're next in line. So we'll see if
Mm.
they get there. He's not. He cannot be the king of Busch Stadium yet, but Goldie and King Goldie does flow nicely. I will admit that. Rockies Diamondbacks here as we move on to the desert here. Zach Gallen, who also is fighting for Lord titles as well, but he struggled as of late. 3 earned runs against these Rockies at the Rockies last time out. It's going to be a whole different ball game here in Arizona. I said it before, and I'll say it again. When you're in Colorado, the ball doesn't break as much. And if Zach Gallen's balls were not breaking that much in Arizona or in Colorado, imagine what they'll do in Arizona. I think it'll be like a different pitcher here, and it'll be interesting to see how it affects him. The money has gone towards the Rockies, actually, with Chad Kuhl, who has been capable. He's been very capable. He's coming off of a start against these Diamondbacks, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 Ks, and a walk. Truthfully, in the back-to-backs, I typically would rather fade a pitcher coming off the back-to-backs. But when after they're coming off a struggle start, it makes it difficult. So I had to pass here. And I want to double check how these teams are doing against righties in the last 2 weeks. I assume these are bottom of the barrel. The Rockies are 29th, 67
Yeah.
weighted runs created plus, while the Cardinals, or the Arizona Diamondbacks, I should say, are 18th, 100 weighted runs created plus. So complete stay off game for me.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with these two baseball teams right now at all. I think the number's too big, though, with the D-backs. I don't love the Rockies on the road. They got it done yesterday, you know, 3-3 right away. They get no runs. I would take that again. I don't give a shit. They fade the starters. I'll fade those two bullpens for that many innings again. I would take that bet if so. That's just shit. That's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, I know Gallen's a little bit better. Cool's been solid on the road. I'd like to take the Rockies. If I had a free bet, I'd ride with them on the road, even though they've been shitty. The D-backs, even at home, this is just out.
I
Next,
agree. I agree wholeheartedly, especially at a minus 160. Next
yes,
game we'll talk about is the Astros versus the Oakland A's here. The other Lord, the Don, the king of the first five right now is Paul Blackburn, one of the most profitable pitchers we've had going against the Astros here. Ultimately, another pass game for me because I've said this frequently. Jose Urquidy is a good pitcher, but I would rather back him at home. That goes
yeah.
for Luis Garcia too, and less so now with Framber Valdez that he's become more dominant everywhere. But Paul Blackburn, his home road splits are also pretty drastic. I need to pull them up actually because I did not write them down. But it's pretty shocking to me, especially because Oakland's such a hitter-friendly ballpark. You've got all that foul ground, you can get all those outs. But he's pitching to a tune of a 5.87 ERA at home and a 1.28 on the road. So ultimately, another pass game for me.
Yeah, keep getting Nick's coin flips, Steiny. He's not gonna do that next in the same game. I already had a talk with him. Shout out to Nicky Fish. Thanks. You know what? Remember I think I've told you, Jose. I want to fade Blackburn going forward. I want to take him here again. I know he struggled at home. This seems like a sleepy spot for the Astros. They have these games. They just were at home. They got by the Royals. They head to Oakland, and they might be asleep. The problem is, Alvarez 3 for 10, 3 homers. Altuve 6 for 11 with a jack.
Yeah, both
Uh,
killed me fucking yesterday. Just fucking killed me.
oh, in the fifth, yeah.
Yeah, I really thought I was gonna get at least half of that and get the first five there, and then after the Altuve home run, I was like, okay, at least I get a push. Oh my god, just fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think I might go with the A's here. First five plus 140. I kind of lean under. And yeah, you just said it wrong. Jay Peasy, you're on top of it there. You mean a pitcher friendly park.
Pitcher, yes,
Yeah,
pitcher.
that's what you meant. Yeah.
Hmm.
But good
No,
thing Jay Peasy's in the chat, probably
thank you.
smoking. Yeah. Staying on top of our shit.
No,
Appreciate it, my guy.
I need you,
Uh
JPZ, keeping on track with me. By the way, I'll say this against Oakland or against Houston, Paul Blackburn this year has faced him once. Let me double
yeah.
check. Yeah, he's faced him once at home, 6 2/3, 4 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 Ks, no walks. Scary. It's a scary bet if you want to do it, but I don't hate it. I mean, he's like I said, he's the dawn of the first five. You keep taking him every time blindly, he'd be winning.
Yeah, and like I said, he's a guy that's always gotten hurt. He's never gone a full, whether he even played in the minors. So I think the longer he goes, he gets hurt, or he just his arm gives out later on. He's a fade. But I think this is one spot. Maybe before the break, you could start cashing because I think they flip as the year goes on. He's been so good first five. Oh, what's it, 10-2 or something like that?
Yeah,
Some
no,
bullshit like that.
I agree with you with that. It always flips. You know, these guys, they're not gonna go like 20-2 first five. After that, after the All-Star break, which is in about a week and 2 days now, um, everything resets. Everything goes back to zero. It's kind of like the beginning of the season all over again for me, really. And we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited. I'm very excited to see how things go. Connor, we've got 3 more games here, and I'll tell you now, these are games that I'm not well prepared on, and I'm excited to hear your take, as you are the technically your West Coast. You know, I'll take the West Coast there over there in Vegas. But let's talk about Giants versus the Padres here. Sam Long seems to be the opener with, I think it's Zach Littell going to be the primary. It's just a bullpen day essentially for the Giants here. Blake Snell on the other side. This is, as Jimmy was saying earlier today, this is a really a prove it start for Blake Snell. Giants against lefties are not good. Let's pull up their last 2 week stats. But that was the basis of us, and I think a lot of us all took the under on their win total this year. Shout out to Nutflush Allen, who really was the steamboat that got us all there. So we're all on it. They're 20th against lefties in the last 2.5 weeks, 97 weighted runs created plus, who average. But can Snell do it here? He's 0-5. He pitched well last time against the Dodgers in a big spot at the Dodgers. He knows that team well. Can he do it against the Giants here? I would bet that way, but I would rather pass this game. I'm not solid at bullpen games. And the Giants bullpen, I've said this a couple times in the last couple of days, but if Duvall comes in for the Giants, that's when you live bet the other team because he fucking stinks.
This one is tough, Jose. When I just go off it, I'm not gonna. He's better at home. So, and I guess Snell at that game against the Dodgers, he just got by. K's were unreal, but man, he had people on 4 walks. I don't think he looked that great, and he went basically a Snell start, 5 innings. I wouldn't trust that. Provar is out, because this game screams over, but these offenses have done nothing.
Nothing.
It just the money's on. It seems like it's 7.5 with these pitchers. A full bullpen. The Giants, Snell should give up a few. I'm thinking at least 3. That's what he's done every start except the last with the Dodgers. Then when he went out, I think the Dodgers scored. I remember that game. I forget. Fuck it. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. They won that one though. I'm pretty sure. But fuck it. Maybe I'm right. Someone hit me up.
Someone figure it out for us.
Someone figure it the fuck out. But I'd be on the Giants. I'd look at them first, and I'm going off nothing because they haven't hit lefties well. They haven't done anything lately. I just don't think that Padre lineup. I know Machado's still in there, Cronenworth, Hosmer. They're coming back down to earth too.
Yeah,
so.
You're 100% right. No Profar is going to hurt them. Neck strain and a concussion. They had the
that was pretty ugly. It
was tough. It was a tough look. I was watching. I didn't watch the Impact Live, but I tuned in, and they were all like stretching him off. I was like, Jesus, what happened? It's very rare you see a stretcher coming out on a baseball field. But yeah, I just took like a knee thigh to the neck, and we got a little concussion and passed out a little bit there, fainted, whatever you want to call it. But Yeah, no, I think he's a big part in the Padres lineup too. Machado was doing everything kind of by himself before, and now he's really gonna have to keep doing it here because Hosmer, I'm not really sold on anymore.
Yeah,
Cronenworth,
he's just okay. I mean,
yeah,
they have Voit for some Jack. Alfaro hasn't been as good as he should. Either Grisham either.
yeah. So
You
it's
know.
just been like meh. So I'll tell you, every National League team when the playoff comes, if this is the Padres team, you get in the playoffs, everyone's going to be begging to face them, begging because it'll be an easy round one matchup for whoever. So we'll see if Tatis comes back, and we'll see how much better their pitching staff gets. Another interesting game here in the fact that we've got the Dodgers pitching against Keegan and Thompson here. Tyler Anderson, him and Tony Gonsolin are by far the MVPs for the Dodgers this year.
Oh yeah.
By far, those two guys have kept them in the lead of this division. And it's kind of the story of what the Dodgers do too. You know, it is a prospect and pitcher they've developed, homegrown, and then a guy they signed for not, I mean, obviously not fucking bukus of money, but they go in, they fix him, they teach him the slider, the Dodger slider that all of the Dodgers have, and they make it work. And he throws funky enough to become a little Johnny Cueto esque, you know. But Keegan Thompson has been pitching well in his own right. Earlier, Jimmy said there's full line value on the Keegan Thompson Cubs too, I believe, as well. So that would make me lean towards the Cubs here, but I didn't want to move on it personally. Both of these games, I don't really want to move on personally. But I would lean Cubs here for sure, just based off the line value. I trust that thing; it's pretty accurate. Don't know what it takes into account, but it hits. So
You know what? Here, when he was early on the road, he pitched well. It's been a little bit rough. That's the only thing I'm leery here. I kind of like the under, first five under 4.5 here. But Thompson, I'm just, a kid like this on the road could get hit. I do have to say with the Dodgers, it was a fight to get 5 runs after they got 4 right away. This is what they do. They have they all hit solo homers, or they have a 4-run inning and just it stops. They just want to win 4-2 or 5-3 like it was
has
yesterday.
the offense been noticeably different since Chris Taylor's been out?
No, I don't think so, but he's going to be huge. I mean, he has to be in there in the playoffs. And I'm going to get to the bullpen. Kimbrel can't be there. I mean, Trinan's got to get back and got to be the guy. There's
Oh,
just no way they win a World Series. Just no fucking way.
yeah.
Craig Kimbrel.
Kimbrel was
Yeah.
done when he was pitching on the Red Sox. In the 2018 World
Yes.
Series, he was done then. And now he's
Yes.
squeaked on by these last couple of years, getting check after check. And it's shocking.
Yeah. I like the under here a little bit. Dodger Stadium. These pitchers have pitched well, and the Cubs. There's as much as last night. I like the Dodgers. The team total. I don't want them here. There's maybe a perfect guy to rip is Keegan Thompson on the road in Los Angeles, but the price is too big. I think there's little value with the Cubs, so I don't blame. You said Sports Insight
Yep.
had line value on them.
I really wish I knew what it took into account with that shit, but it hits, man. It really does. So shout out to full line value, and shout out to Jimmy, who pays almost $13 a month, $1,300 a month for that shit. At least he
At
spends
least
it.
he's putting it to use.
Yeah, at least putting it to you. So thank
Worth.
you, Jimmy. Let's talk about our last game here: Toronto versus the Seattle Mariners here. Let's obviously make the first note here. There's going to be a shitload of Blue Jays fans there. The Seattle Blue Jays trip is kind of like a big deal in Toronto for Blue Jays fans. It's right there. I don't know exactly how long it is, but they take a pretty crushing defeat yesterday, and I was all over it. Thankfully, I was shocked that they're giving. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same thing today here, Connor, because I was shocked that they were giving the Blue Jays -130 to -125 with a bullpen day, essentially. Of his Bonda, but we knew he wasn't going to last super long. And is it strange to say I'm feeling the same thing here, Connor? Ross Stripling is pitched well, but he's not giving you 7 innings. He's not giving you 6 innings every day. Is he? I'm gonna pull up Ross's pitching stats here because I I just don't trust the Blue Jays bullpen at all. I mean, I understand Simber and Romano are good, but how long can they go? And let's see, Stripling has gone 6 innings once this year. He's gone 6 innings once this year against the White Sox 3 starts ago. And he pitched against the AL East the last 2 appearances, and the Rays and Red Sox pitched well. But flat out, this is a Mariners spot for me again. Honestly, I would fade the Blue Jays every game in this West Coast road trip they're on. I really would. I really
Yeah,
would.
I agree with you.
It's an East. I said it on Jimmy's show. The East Coast teams going on the West Coast road trip, once they start going down like a dark hole and go in a slump, they are not going to come out of it until they leave and go back home. You know, they're on the road every day. The travel sucks. They're super far away from home. And on top of all that, you had the Blue Jay stuff with the first base coach weighing them down too. Maybe that'll be the boost that gets them out of this slump, but it's truly Mariners or nothing for me here.
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of saying the Jays get right tonight? I mean, if you've been doing, I mean, that's just going off baseball. Can it happen? Of course. Could they win 8-2 with that lineup? No shit. But you're right, Jose. I just can't take them here until they come back home. They get relaxed. Yeah, it seems like that thing, it's been a big deal. Obviously they're not playing their best baseball, but they're a young group. They don't have the pitching. And now they've had the injuries to the starting pitching, kind of. Mm-hmm. And then the bullpen's horrible. Do they make the playoffs? Can they get a wild card? Maybe, but I don't think they do anything. So yeah, this is Mariners or nothing for me as well. The price isn't as great as last night at plus money with the Mariners, but that's the only way I could look. Stripling's okay. It's like his curveball is the big key. He's got that big 12-6 curve. If it's working and sharp, he'll be on. If he leaves it out, he'll get tattooed by Rodriguez and France and everyone else.
And the fascinating part, if I had a live show on during then, I would be sitting there just waiting to live bet the Seattle Mariners, because I think, Ross Stripling could go out there, give you four innings of good work. And then you could probably get like a plus money price, and you could see how Kirby pitches as well, because he's obviously a big factor in all this too, because the Blue Jays are still, though they've been struggling, they're still second amongst righties, against righties, I should say, in the last 3 weeks. So
yeah. Quick, Mom, it says Mariners can't hit. They can, but at home, this is where I want them. When they go out on the road, I like to fade them in certain spots. So
they're 14th.
This is kind of an ugly one. Yeah,
14th against righties his last 2.5 weeks. So
they've been better. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
They scored some runs and had a few overs. I've noticed that the last 2 weeks.
I'm gonna write down Seattle Mariners money line, and I'm gonna think about it here for a second. It's gonna be a great game. I'm sure of it, because Blue Jays need to win here, man. They really do, because they were on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. They broke it in Oakland, great, but they might end up doing it again here. So I'm very interested to see how this game goes. I also don't hate an over as well. I also do not hate an over in this game, because I don't know what we're going to get from Kirby, genuinely. He's facing a great lineup, and we'll see. So Mariners lean for me, and I'll let you guys know if I'm making that official here in a second. That concludes the card for today. I've got 3 official plays, and I've got 3 more that I'm deciding on here. I've got maybe some leans. Connor, I'd love for you to start off, give your official plays here for July 8th. Say hey play 93. Very exciting day.
Yeah, let's get to it. I'm on the Twins. We talked about it earlier. I got minus 111. You could still get it like 118. I just think they're the better team. They got the better gray. Give it to me. Sox, Twins. I got an 8.5. I got 120 with it. There's still some 8.5s, a lot of 8s though at even money. I'm just going with the trend there. as much as it could be over with those pitchers, with the everything that I've gone through. So Sox, Tigers under 8.5. Cardinals, I'm rolling with them plus 115. Wade right on the bump. I'm taking them. And lastly, I'm going to make these late. Dodgers, Cubs, first 5 under 4.5. And I might make that A's first 5. And I kind of like that under 7.5. I think that game could be a snooze fest, especially early. The problem is you got a 3 and a hook in the first 5 in that game in A's Astros. That's my only problem.
Almost like they know. Almost like they know too about how the early sleepy start too.
Yeah, Urquidy's been good and better on the road lately. Like his last 4, 3 or 4 starts. So under there, and I might take that A's first 5. I think it's too juicy. Plus 140.
Beautiful, Connor. Thank you as always. I'm going to make 5 plays official here. I did not think I would be doing this either.
Are you going with the Nats? Because that's my one I didn't take here.
I am going to go with the Nats, yes. Team total over 3 at minus 120. Official there. Miami Marlins team total over 3 as well, minus 110, as well as the Boston team total over 4 at minus 115. Those 3 were my locked on, I'm moving on those. And these next 2, I guess I was a little more trepidatious on. They were my leans, sure, and I'm officially going to move on them here. Mariners money line, I'm going to move it. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I don't know if I'm going to fade them every game here, but I'm going to look to bet against the Blue Jays at every turn on this West Coast road trip. Because like I said, as a Red Sox fan, I know what it feels like to be in that West Coast road trip hell. Like, it just feels like your team cannot get out of it until you get back home and get back comfy. I don't know what it is, but that is one of those things. And
Jose, the game went off though. Remember, I had Rays red. Sorry, remember I had under.
Oh yes.
But I mean, if you watched the beginning of the show, sorry,
no,
that game's already. Sorry,
no, that's why you come early for the shows, Connor. That's why you come early. You come early, you get in early. You got to get the early plays for the early games.
There you go. Carry on, my guy.
But my last play, it's going to be here. Here it is, guys. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna raise it, and I'm gonna do it. First 5 team total over 1.5 at plus 120 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think, Connor, the best point that you made and the point that really made me remember and want to bet the Pirates here is Ashby's injury, the forearm injury. I said it when he first came back. When you have a forearm injury as a pitcher, every time it usually just feels like a pretense to Tommy John. It just feels like it's only a matter of time before your strained elbow or whatever goes into Tommy John and you have to do all that. And I was surprised to see Ashby back. And if he dominates here, then congratulations. It might be the travel spot, but still,
I agree.
I think I'll fade Ashby in most appearances. I just have to keep reminding myself about that forearm injury.
4.644. I think there's a problem there, and maybe it's not, and he's fighting through it. But I like your bet because I make that guy go out and beat you, and I think something's wrong.
At least it's plus money too. That's the best part about it. I'm not laying a minus 120 there. I'm getting a plus 120. So
this lineup, Jose, a little infield single, walk, home run, you got it. With all those guys swinging there.
Literally exactly like that every single time. It will be a hit batter, and then Brian Reynolds will come up and hit a home run, and we're cooking with gas then. It's truly hilarious to me how it really does feel like every time I tweet the Pirates, it's a home run. It's always a home run. And by the way, my guy O'Neill Cruz has been struggling as of late. He is now hitting 8th now, unfortunately, hitting 8th. But that's okay.
He's got a big swing.
He's a
big guy.
The lower he goes down the lineup, the easier it might be for him hitting, and I'm okay with that. Connor, they want to know real quick before we head out of here. Stimmy OG wants to know any jacks of the day.
I do have a few. I wrote them down because I didn't get to put anything in yet. Just hit me up on Twitter. I'll send you what I have. Beautiful. I have a couple. I just didn't get into it deep.
Yes, there you go. That's perfectly great. And Connor, where can they find you on Twitter?
Just at Connor Mac. Connor Mac Picks on Twitter. Hit me up anytime. But let's get this money Friday night.
Yes.
Cheering you on, Jose. I like that Pirates bet too. You're making me. I just went. It's either just pain or I think it's that 2-run jack or 3-run jack, and especially with Ashby, because we faded him the other last week or 5 days ago, right?
Yeah.
The road, everything's got me fucked up.
I'll
got me twisted, Jose.
Yeah, the road trip, man. The Pittsburgh, Cincinnati to Milwaukee road trips got me fucked up. And if I lose this bet, it's not gonna be because the Pirates suck. It's because they're tired. I've got my built-in excuse already, Connor, and I'm excited for it. It's gonna be a great day.
I like it.
Connor, I appreciate you for joining me, and I'll tell you this because I don't think you know this. But Say Hey 100 is next Friday.
Nice.
Next Friday.
You're gonna have a big party?
I don't know what's exactly going to happen for Say Hey 100, Connor, but of course you'll be on here. We'll probably have multiple people on the show.
That sounds good.
But it'll be interesting for sure. So thank you as always for joining me, Say Hey 93. And of course, thank you for being the future Say Hey 100 guest. Without you, the show wouldn't be possible as well. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just is this like a millennial thing? Like 100, you got to have a birthday party or a
yes
participation award?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We celebrate our successes here, Connor, because
I'm in then. That's all I need to know.
I'm going to celebrate 200, Connor. I'm going to do the same thing.
Do 100. Just don't do 50s. You're crossing the line.
Okay, yeah, 50s. I will admit, when I first was going to say I was going to celebrate 200, it was going to be 150. And then I thought about it. I don't know if I can do that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, it's going to be a great time. Say Hey 100 is going to be fantastic. Connor, you'll be there. We'll have other guests. It'll be a fun time. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. As always, Daryl Turner, Wallaby King, Jefferson C, not applicable fire in the chat, MMA Locker Room, Stimmy OG, AJ1337, all you guys, Wallaby, Paul Trippy, been great. Cheshire Cat, of course. Kenny V, by the way, he got a team total over 3.5 for the book for the Marlins at plus 120. I don't hate that at all. Get your plus money in there. I generally don't hate taking a 3 and a 3.5 together because it ultimately is just 4 runs, So I don't hate that at all. But that's going to be it for us, guys. We'll be back here tomorrow, or at least I will be back here tomorrow early in the morning, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. Big Ragu joining us tomorrow. Going to be fun.
Nice. Doc.
Have not chatted with Big Doc Ragu in a while, so it's going to be a great time. I appreciate everyone for joining us. Say hey to me on social media at Jose Bouquett. And until next time, we'll see you guys.
Hit the like.